everybody, this is Walt, and I'm back with another product review. This time my product review, this is the Donner DEP-1. It's an 88 key digital piano with 128 sounds, 88 keys. The keys in this unit are actually not bad. This is a synth weighted keyboard, and it does not have hammer action weighting to it like a real acoustic upright or grand piano would have. It's spring-loaded keys, but the keys work really great, and you actually get really nice sensitivity. 128 sounds. The sounds are general MIDI, because it goes the numbers on here go from 0 to 127 internal sounds. Some of the sounds are pretty good. Some of them are mediocre, and there's a few of them in here that aren't so good. They this basically has a general MIDI sound library in it, and some of the best sounds in here are going to be the piano, a couple of pianos, organs. There's a couple synth sounds in here and a couple bass sounds in here that aren't too bad, and a few others, but not the greatest sound set in the world, but not bad. But here's the thing about it. This unit, and I'm sure one of the things you're probably going, why is that, what is all that noise? Well, that's one of the things about this unit that we have to look at. This unit right now, so that I can do this recording, I plugged my microphone in right here. It's kind of hard to see because the microphone itself, the connector is black. You got a silver connector right there, that's the USB-C, and there's a black connector in between, which is the line output for this unit. And when you hook your microphone into it, the microphone works at one sound level. So you turn your piano up and down. And I actually have to leave it on a 1 so you can hear me and I don't spike my input on my computer, because I'm plugged into my computer using OBS software to record this video. But there's pluses and minuses to this unit. On a scale of 1 to 5, the keyboard layout, I give it, that's good. 88 keys, I give that a 5. There's a little bit of a texture on the plastic on these sharps and flat keys. It's just a little texture. It's not a defect because it's on all of them. It's like they took the plastic and right before it finished drying, they rolled it with a roller, so it have little teeny tiny dimples. They're not sharp, it's still smooth, but it gives, I like it, the keys are squared off, and it gives just a tiny little bit of a grab, but your fingers just slip right off real easy. So you'll move around with no problems. It won't impede your dexterity at all. So you get 88 keys, great sensitivity. Check it out. Sensitivity on here is excellent. 88 keys, the texture feel, the synth weighted action. The keys have just the right amount of stiffness, but not too loose. Don't have any wiggle going back and forth with them either. I think this is the key bed itself, five stars. But here's where it starts to go downhill. I do like the size of this keyboard, especially since it's 88 keys. But let's say you want to change the sound on this thing. Outside of all that growly sound you hear, which is coming from, a lot of it is coming from when you plug your USB in, because in order to power this, I got to use USB. And when you plug in a USB to it, you get all that growly, humming noise, which isn't good. And it's there when if I unplug the audio jack and the microphone, it doesn't make a difference. It's still there. It's picking up the noise from the electrical circuitry because it's not a good isolation for this unit. So it's picking it up through the USB cable, even though I've done other videos and you don't hear anything. And I'm plugged in with that same USB cable in other units. So it's internal grounding issues with this keyboard. And when you're plugged in using a USB-C cable, drawing power from your computer, you're going to hear that noise. And over the speakers, it sounds worse. So that's a negative. That's a big point. That's a point off with the 5 points, the 5 stars that I give it. Now, here's another thing. There's not enough controls on this thing. Because right now, I got the piano. If I want to change the piano sound, there's a button right here. I know you can't really see that. The lettering's not in white, it's charcoal gray. So it's hard to see, but this says settings here. And this is record, play over here, plus, minus here. So, but if I want to change the sound from that piano, I hold this button down, and you hear a couple beeps. And off camera, down here on the very last octave key, because there's a map that you have to use to control this. They didn't put any labeling on the bridge here above the keys to help you out, which would have been a nice touch. So you have to use the owner's manual. But it has a map in there that shows you how to change the volume and transpose it and change octaves and stuff like that on this keyboard. And you can do a lot of it from it's available from using the manual, but it's still a little bit, well, it's just a pain in the butt to do, especially when you could they could have put a display screen on here and more control buttons. But I get what they were probably shooting for, and easy to carry. This unit can't weigh over 18 pounds. A light, easy 88 key keyboard with a great key bed on it and some decent sound. So that's what they were shooting for, and it gets plenty loud, but when you start putting the negatives on it, it drops it back considerably. And one of the things that gets it is that noise and the lack of control here. I mean, they would have to have extended it out a little bit on the back side to get a little bit bigger display and to put a few more buttons, but at least rhythm buttons, so you can hit a rhythm, just hit the rhythm button. Use the plus and minus buttons here, would have made a difference. A tone button, and then use the plus and minus buttons here, would have made a big difference. And then transpose buttons, you know, it wouldn't have added that much extra depth, and it definitely wouldn't have added any real serious weight to it to put those on. But let's change from the piano to something else. You hold down the setting button over here. Hit the last octave button. It goes TON on the screen. I got 10 seconds to change sounds. And you can hold down the button. You can see it shoots through pretty quick. Those are guitars. Sounds more like a sort of a squeeze box. Not bad. The basses on here aren't too bad. Some of the other sounds. But after 10 seconds, you can see it went back to 0. The bass is locked in. But if I want to go back to the piano, hold it down again. Hit the last octave key. It goes tone. Now I can select. So I can hold it down and it'll scroll quickly back down to 0. You can hit it one at a time. The control buttons do feel pretty good. And then about 5 more seconds and it's going to lock in. And at this point, if I want to change sounds, if I hit that, all I'm doing is raising the volume. So you got to do that little trick to change the sounds every time. And then there's transpose, like I say, there's transpose buttons and other controls and octave keys, and you can also change the rhythms on it, because now that we're back in the piano sound, we're out of the programming window of 10 seconds. But now if I hit the plus button and thinking that I can change that rhythm, it just gets louder. Hit it again and it stops. So you can bring up whatever the last rhythm you picked over here. The last sound you want to do, you can bring that up and you can play that. And you can also go into record mode. Hold this down. It goes to REC. Hit it again, play it. And if I hit it again, REC comes up. Hit the play button. And there you go. So whatever you record, if you want to hang on to it, you better do a dump through your USB into a DAW, or record it into your computer using Audacity or whatever your software you want to use to save it. Because when you turn it off, that song it's gonna go away. Watch. I get a little. Okay, we're back. Just that quick. And you can see there's nothing to replay. It's gone. Let's drop that volume way down. Hey, that's interesting. I turned it off for a few seconds. And now it's in this tone mode. It usually doesn't do that. Double. I hit the plus and minus together, and there we go. So, that's interesting. Now let's try it again. Okay, we're back. Now it says 12 over here. That's going to be the volume. Watch, I'm going to hit it soft. Yep, that's the volume. That's what you usually get. There. As the volume comes up, and it's set at about 12, it goes to 15. You can hold the button down or step your way through. It goes up to 15. Right there. And then if you hit both of them together, the normal volume level is 12, which is a pretty hot signal. This thing does get pretty loud. I'll give them credit for that. But as you can see and hear from that constant grumble in the background, you got some issues there. And that's not good. And the thing of it is, I tried using this because you can use this. It has a MIDI and USB-C jack on there, allows you to use this as a MIDI controller. That noise, that's an engineering thing that should have been taken care of with some proper grounding. That's all it is. Usually when you get noise, it's a matter of grounding. But the grounding knocks it down a point, and I got to take it down another point because there's no ease of use as far as controlling. You got to do a couple of steps. Hold this down, and then hold down a key just to get a sound up, and then it's numbers, and you have to use the manual. A better display would have helped. It would have made it a little bit wider this way, but I think it would have helped out a lot more. Overall, I've got to give the Donner a rating of 1. It's the system noise that ruins it. Okay, folks, this is what this sounds like when I disconnected the microphone and the headphone output jack so that I could run it just straight, so it's getting power from my computer, and I can also use it as a mini DAW controller as well. But now, right now I got the volume at 0. So I'm just going to put the microphone, take my mic off here, and put it by the speaker so you can hear what I'm hearing. Okay, that growly, gravelly sound that you're hearing is coming from the USB-C cable being plugged into this unit to give it power. And this is the sound that you get. The volume is all the way down. It's at 0. Because if I strike a key, you don't hear anything. This unit gets super loud. It goes all the way up to 15. So volume is not an issue with these speakers. It's just that noise, even though the volume is all the way down, it doesn't make any sense. This was just bad engineering. They didn't ground this unit properly and isolate the audio signal from the power supply or something, because it's just not working very good. Now maybe it's because the USB and the headphone out and the microphone input are right there together, and these days they usually solder all that right to the circuit board, and they may not have used proper isolation. But whatever it is, it takes an otherwise good unit, because as I said, if you use this for a MIDI controller, it'd be pretty nice, because you got 88 keys on here, great sensitivity. The key bed is great, but the controls are not very good. There's no markings on it so that you can actually just hit the button over here and go to the feature over here at least to figure out, so you can do the settings with the transpose and changing sounds and all that. You got to use the manual, and you got one button over here, and the same thing with the rhythm and all that. So overall, I was going to give this unit a 3, but I got to bump it down because that sound, I'm sorry, Donner, I hate to do it, because like I say, the key bed is pretty good, but that noise is just ridiculous. It was bad engineering. So I hope this review helps you folks decide if you want to actually purchase this unit or not, because it does seem to have sound issues as far as the grunginess from the circuits not being properly isolated. See you next time.